Dakshana's learning platform and this amazing session, and today we are going to discuss logical reasoning portion of your NDST mock test 1. So before jumping into the solution, I would like to tell you guys a few things. So as you all know, Dakshana is going to conduct a series of mock tests for you guys in order to understand what kind of questions can come into the actual NDST. Right, the questions might not, obviously they are not going to be the same, right, but it would be like a similar kind of questions. You will get an idea of the difficulty level that you will be facing in different subjects, let's say chemistry, maths, physics, or logical reasoning per se. Okay, so basically these mock tests will give you an idea of what kind of questions Dakshana will ask or what would be the difficulty level of your question paper. Okay, now logical reasoning is the portion where like if you're going to start a question paper, most students would like to start with the logical reasoning, because generally you find the questions of logical reasoning pretty much easy, because that's it's logic that you have to put, right, and everybody got some logic. So these questions are comparatively easy, and then you don't really have to study for these, to be honest. So let's see how this question, how much is scored in this particular mock test 1. This paper, to be honest, consists of 25 questions. You all know that. If you talk about the difficulty level, few questions, let's say 5 or 6 questions were there which were on the tougher side. Otherwise you could have easily scored, you could have corrected the 18 question out of 25. Those were really easy. You don't really have to put your mind into it. So 5 to 6 questions, yes, I would say they were somewhat difficult. Okay, they were not average, and the rest all were really easy, and you could have got your full marks for those questions, right? So if we head into the very first question, it's on, and again we have picked up questions from every section, every subtopic of your logical reasoning that has already been provided by Dakshana to you. So let's say there are blood relations, number system, and then you have the the letter series. You have the letter series, and then you have non-verbal questions where you have construction of images. Which image would fit into this particular kind of structure, and which image is going to be the next. So we have covered the almost the entire syllabus of logical reasoning, from where the questions are going to come in your NDST, to be honest. Okay, and going forward you will see the more and more variety, and then the difficulty level will go on increasing, and you may find some papers to be easier than the previous one, but again we will try to keep the difficulty level. You can say this very first paper is going to be like your benchmark, and you will find difficulty level on this level only in most of the papers. Okay, so if you start with the very first question is in blood relation, and it says, if so on the left hand side you can see the question. Okay, you can see the question in here, and on the right hand side of the board we will be solving the question itself. Okay, so I will not be writing the question because you already have the question on this side, and we will directly jump into the solution. So I will recite the question. Okay, you can look the question in here and then look for the solution. So we go for the very first question, and it says A minus B. So it's in the blood relation, but now in blood relation there can be many type of questions, right? One kind of question that we face in blood relation is, okay, so there are two guys, and let's say there's me and my friend, and I am pointing towards the picture, and I am telling, okay, that guy is my mother's father's, and any kind of relation they can put you into. But the good thing about blood relation is that's what that's something that I always felt. If you belong to a joint family, or if you have a really good relation with your relatives, then obviously you can easily, or you can reach to the conclusion very fast. And if you really don't really have good connections with the relatives, then it might be somewhat difficult, because when you read the logical reasoning question, this blood relation question, the very first thing that you do is, okay, every person that might be X, Y, Z, A, B, C in here in the question, but you assign that person to someone in your family, right? Okay, this guy, okay, they're talking to the father, let's assume this is my father, and then you assume yourself to be the son or daughter or whatever. So that's how I go about these questions. Everyone has their own way. So whichever way you are comfortable, you can go about that. No worries, until unless you are getting the right answer, doesn't matter. So this is somewhat maths is being put into this question and mixed with the blood relation thing, but this is something you can get within 1 minute or so. So easier question, not really difficult. So the question says A minus B means B is son of A. So we'll write these things. So question number 1 says, if it's A minus B, then A minus B means B is son of A. Okay, and the next thing says if it's A into B, then it means A is brother of B. It means A is brother of B. Now, what you have to think is if A into B is A is brother of B. A is brother of B. So B doesn't necessarily have to be, the brother of A. B can be sister also. Okay. So that's the only part where you need to be careful. And then it says A divided by B means B is sister of A. So if it's the divided sign, then this guy is sister of A. Okay, and then it says if it's A plus B, it means A plus B means A is mother of B. So this is the information that is given to you guys, and they are asking which of the following is definitely true about, and what is the expression that is given to you? N into K minus M divided by L. So this is the expression that is given to you. Now, and then there are obviously 4 options that you can look in here. Okay, so we have to tell which of the following, which option would be definitely true for this particular expression. Okay, so let's figure out the conclusion of this particular expression. So it says, let's start from here. You can, okay, for the very first time you can get confused about the BODMAS thing. Okay, do we need to apply the BODMAS, or do we have to apply or we don't have to apply? Doesn't matter, you will get the same conclusion. Okay, so if it's M divided by L, so you can see this one is over here. It means B is sister of A. So it means L is sister of M. Okay, so I am just going to assign this as cis. So this guy can be either cis, or sister or brother, because L is sister, right? So M can be the sister or brother. Now K minus M, you find out the minus sign, it's right here. It says the B is son of A. This guy is son of this guy. Okay, now B is son of A, so A can be the father as well as the mother, right? Okay, so M is, so B is son of A. It means the M is son of K. So it means this guy cannot be the sister. Okay, because it has to be a male. It's the son, right? So it has to be the male, and it's the son of A. So the K is either the father or mother. Cool? Okay. So this guy is one of the parent basically for both M and L. M is the son for K and L is the daughter. Okay. But K, still we don't know if K is the father or mother. We still don't know that. Okay. But one of them for sure. Now we go to the last part, and it's N into K. N into K is right here. It says A is brother of B. A is brother of B. So N is brother of K. So N is brother of this guy, right? Brother of this guy. So we still don't know whether this guy is, it is the male or female. So K is still uncertain. You have no idea about the gender of K. But we can make the tree from here. What we can say is, so N and K, they belong to the same generation, right? So I'll just write it over here. N and K, they belong to the same generation. But this guy, okay, this can be the male, female. It goes like a son, that is M. Okay, M is son and L is daughter. Okay, that's the information that is given to us. And this guy is brother of this guy. So, and this guy is either male or female. Okay, this is the information, and this is the tree that we have got. Now you can directly go to the options and you can find out which one is true. So the very first one says K is father of L and N. No, we still don't know if the K is the father or the mother. The gender is still unknown, so you cannot say for sure that K is the father. It doesn't necessarily have to be the true. So A is wrong. Option B says L is daughter of K and the niece of her uncle N. L is daughter of K, that's fine, and the niece of her uncle N. See this guy N. Okay, what is niece? Okay, in Hindi if you talk about niece, it's so let's say there is you and there is your father and your father got a brother, right? So जो आपके चाचा लगेंगे बेसिकली, तो उन चाचा के आप क्या लगेंगे, है ना, भतीजे लगे, या फिर मान लीजिए जो मामा की तरफ से आप लगोगे, अपने मामा के क्या लगोगे, भांजे भांजे लगोगे। तो चाहे भतीजा हो चाहे भांजा हो, शब्द एक ही दोनों के लिए, इंग्लिश में क्या है, नेफ्यू। चाहे भतीजी हो चाहे भांजी हो, देयर इज ओनली वन वर्ड, दैट इज नीस। सो दिस गाय, okay, now you got basically we got two trees over here, I mean two situations over here. If this guy is father, if K is father, then this guy is the basically the uncle. I mean is like he'll always be the uncle, doesn't matter even if this guy is the mother, but this guy is like belongs to same family. Okay, I mean it's like ये मेरे चाचा हैं। okay, हिंदी में बात करें तो ये आपके चाचा होंगे। अगर ये मेल है तो एन क्या हो जाएंगे, एन हो जाएंगे चाचा हिंदी में, क्योंकि दोनों के लिए अलग वर्ड है तो आपको समझ में आएगा। और अगर ये फीमेल है तो फीमेल यानी आपके मदर का भाई, दैट इज बेसिकली योर मामा, राइट। सो अगर ये फीमेल है के, देन एन वुड बी योर मामा, बट वेदर बी मामा और चाचा, you would still be the niece, right? Or this M would still be the nephew. So it doesn't matter. Even if it's, I mean, it's male or female, this guy would be uncle. Okay. So B is for like B is true for sure. Okay. B is not depending on gender of K. So we can say for sure that the correct answer for this question would be B. You can read out the remaining options. Option C says K is the father of M and L. K is the father of M and L. We don't know if he is the father or the mother. It's wrong. Option D says M is the uncle of K's brother N. M is the uncle of it is rubbish. Okay, M is in the lowest letter, so it doesn't make any sense. Okay, now we'll go to the question number 2. Question number 2 is from the number series. Again, in number series you can have multiple logics. I mean so there are like many series to follow. So you, if it comes into your mind, if it struck you, I mean if you are stuck, you are stuck. If it hits you at the moment, then you go through. Okay, so again it depends on we won't say it's luck. It depends on your presence of mind, and sometimes it's luck also. If it hits you, maybe the number series, it might not hit the brightest guy who is in your class, or it can hit the guy who is at the bottom. So again it's like the presence of mind, and logical reasoning is something it doesn't have to be the topper of the class would be very good at the logical reasoning. It can be the guy who is at the bottom. Okay, so that's where the fun part begins. So question number 2 is from the number system, and this question that you have in NDST 1 mock test 1, it's somewhat difficult to be honest. Okay, if I would have attempted this question, I think still I would not have got the answer. Okay, so to be very honest with you guys, and that's why I have kept this question for you guys, see if whether one of you gets it right or not. So this question was difficult, so if you got the right answer, then you can pat yourself on the back. So yeah, let's go to the question number 2. Question number 2 belongs to the number series, and the series is 6, 14, 36, 98. You can see the question and the options on the left hand side also, right? 98, and then you got the 276. What comes next? Okay, and then there are obviously the options. So let's write the options once, because I need to tell you something. C, D. It's 694, 482, 794, 564. So now as we talked before, there can be many things in number series. There can be many patterns. I mean it can be it can form a AP, they can be GP, they can be multiple of a number, let's say. So sometimes you might see, let's say there is A, B, C, D, what comes next. So it can be that A is being multiplied with some number X, and then some Y is added, you get B. Then you can see that B is being multiplied with X plus some number Y plus maybe some constant or some AP thing is added. So there can be many patterns or many logics put into the number series. So it's just about hitting you at the right moment. So if you got this question, you can apply all these things, you'll not get the answer. Okay, you can reach close to the answer, if you think about this, if you go from 6 to 14, it's like 2 point something, right? Okay. 14 to 36, again 2 point something, again 2 point something, again 2 point something. So it's always, you know, more than the double. And if you, if you exactly calculate, it will be like, you know, 2.5 or 2.4, something like that. So if you do that, 2 times of this number, let's assume it's almost 280. So it's like 560, and then you can add 140 as well, right? Because it's almost 2.5. So you would get, what will you get? You will get something 700. But if you get 700, you might tick this option or this option. Okay, since you are close to 700, you can tick this option, but that would be wrong, because the right answer for this question is option number C. Now, so that's not the right way to approach the question. Okay, you should not go for that method. You can get the wrong answers, no big deal. So what is the exact logic behind this question? So if you, okay, so you can see this is, there is 6, then 14, then 36, then 19, then 276. Okay, so 6 is what? 6 is 1 plus 2 plus 3, right? 14 is what? So 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 to the power 1, 2, 1 equal 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. So this is basically the series. If you look at 6, that is 1 to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 1 plus 3 to the power 1. 14 is basically 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square. So 3 square is 9 plus 4 13, and then you have 14, right? If you talk about the next number in the series, 36. 36 is 1 to the power cube and 2 to the power cube plus 3 to the power cube. So 27 plus 8 plus 1. 27 plus 9 is again 36. So this is the pattern that we are following. So if you talk about 98, it would be 1 to the power 4 plus 2 to the power 4 plus 3 to the power 4. This guy would be 1 to the power 5 plus 2 to the power 5. So the next guy, x, has to be 1 to the power 6 plus 2 to the power 6 plus 3 to the power 6. This is your answer. And if you solve it, you will find 1 plus 8 8 64 plus 729, right? So if you solve this, you will find 794, option number C. So I know this one was difficult. If you didn't get the answer, don't think like you are not good in number series. Okay, so if you didn't get it, it's fine. If you got it, very good. Okay, but you might not see this much difficulty in your NDST exam. I just gave it so that you'll be ready for the next paper. Okay, not necessarily you will see such kind of questions, but yeah, 1 or 2 questions would be really difficult. Okay, so that you be on your toes. And let's go to the question number 3. So correct answer for this question, option number C. Question number 3 is from the letter series. Okay, this was the number series, that's the letter series. So let's say you, in this particular question, in this particular paper, NDST logical reasoning 1, you struggled with a particular kind of question. So you can simply, Google is the best friend. Okay, so you can go to the internet, Google that particular question and to which subtopic it belongs to. Okay, if you don't know that, you can ask me, or you can put your queries in the Dakshana group, and then relating to that particular subtopic, you can solve as many questions as you can until you feel comfortable. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure in the next exam you would be able to solve them. So that's another way to go about it. Okay. Question number 3. So the series is, there is a blank space and then YZ, again blank space, ZX, again blank space, XY, X, again blank space, Z, blank space, ZX, ZX, Y. Okay, so there are basically, so there will be like 2 kind of people. So the one kind would basically put all the options 1, 2, 3, 4, whichever options are given. They will simply put these options into these blank spaces, and then you can basically see whether it's forming particular pattern or not. If it's not forming a pattern, you can simply discard that option, and the option which exactly makes some kind of sense or a pattern basically, then you can take that option. Okay, that will be your right answer. So that's one way to go about it. Or you can basically, so there is not really a method to teach you guys, okay, what can be the possible, ways to go over this question. You have to think, okay, it's just the logic that you have to put, and if it clicks, it clicks. So this question is somewhat easy, and so you can always go for the options and see whether this option is making sense or not, this option is making sense or not. If it's not making, go for the another option. Okay. So if you look at this, so we have basically three variables x, y, and z, and so okay. One thing, okay, it doesn't really have to be the same way always. I mean, not necessarily that x, y, z has to be the constantly three numbers. But if you look at this, see here you have okay, how many letters are there? Not really need to count. Let's say if we put x here, we'll just take another marker. Let's say if we put x here, right? So it's x, y, z. Now zx is already given, so let's put y. Okay. Again, not necessarily this would be the pattern for all the questions of the letter series. It can be something else also. So x, y, z. Then they took y, z, x. Then so basically you started with 1, 2, 3. Then they took the 2 first, 2, 3, 1. Now they will take the 3 first, 3, 1, 2. So here has to be z, x, y. So can you see x, y, z, y, z, x, then z, x, y. Then again x, y, z. Then y, z, x. Then z, x, y. So yeah, I mean that was the right answer. And if you got it right, very good. So the right answer would be x, y, z, y, y. And this one you will find in option number A itself. So even if you put the options, so the very first option is your right answer. So it won't waste a lot of your time. But what if the right option is option number D? Then you will struggle. But again, if you can solve it without putting the options into the blank spaces, then it would be better for you guys. Okay, let's move on to the question number 4. Question number 4 is not really, I mean, it's logical of course, but it's English also. Question number 4. It says you have to find the right analogy. So they have given you divide, and then they have given you unite. Okay, so dividing and then uniting. I hope you know the meaning of both these words. Okay, now we have to find a similar kind of analogy to this. Okay, option number 1 is split and apart. Split and apart are more or less the same thing, right? I mean splitting, breaking something into more pieces, and then apart is also it's certainly not coming close. Okay, it's going further. So this is certainly not the right analogy for this one, because you are first dividing something and then you are breaking those pieces into one thing. So you are uniting back. So this is not the right answer. Then option number B is marriage, and you have divorce. See, first we are dividing, then we are uniting. Marriage is like bringing two people together, and divorce is then again on their way back. So this is exactly reverse of what we are looking for, right? It has to be the divide, then unite. So divorce then marriage would work. Marriage first then divorce? No. C. Fission and fusion. So जिन्होंने ये पढ़ा होगा वो सही आंसर टिक कर देंगे. ऑप्शन नंबर 3 is yes, the right answer, because see, fission is, what is fission? So you have a heavier element, okay, heavier atom, and then you basically slam a neutron into it, and then it gets split into the lighter ones or many pieces. So fission is breaking something into smaller. Fusion is, and fission is basically your nuclear reactors. They work on this thing only, like your uranium or plutonium. Those atoms are strike with the neutrons, and they, I mean, this process releases energy, of course, okay, and then they go into the lighter nuclei basically. And fusion is basically bringing two lighter nuclei together and forming a heavier one. And this is the process basically which powers the sun. I mean, you can think of two hydrogens combining together forming helium. So this is fusion. So in fusion we are basically uniting things, right? And fission, you are basically breaking something. Okay, so that's the same analogy, dividing and then uniting. So C is the right answer. And then option number D is chasm, gap. So again, this is not the common word, but yeah. See, you can get it from right here. Gap is not uniting. So even if you don't know the meaning of this word, you are good to go, right? This is not the correct option. But again, chasm is a difference, a profound difference in basically the difference can be between the people, like a chasm between rich and poor, or it can be between the viewpoints of people. So yeah, the difference basically, that kind of stuff. Okay, or it can be the feelings also. Okay. Yes. Moving forward to question number 5. Question number 5 is again it's just more or less English only. So question number 5, there is a statement given. There are basically 2 statements given, and now then we have to find out. So are they the result of independent causes, or are they relating to one another in some sequence? Maybe the first thing happened first, and then statement 2 is the result of the first thing. Or statement 2 happened first and then statement 1 is the result of the first thing. So that is, you have to tell. If you look at question number 5, it's right here on your left side, and statement 1 says importance of yoga and exercise is being realized by all sections of the society. So they are saying the importance of yoga is being, everybody is feeling okay, yoga is important and shit. So everyone in the society is feeling the same way. Okay, so they are realizing the importance of yoga and exercise. Fine, this is statement number 1. Statement number 2 says there is an increasing awareness. There is an increasing awareness about health in the society, particularly among the middle-aged group of people. So, and then statement 2 is, so in the society itself, okay, the first statement said that, everybody is realizing the importance of yoga in the society. And the statement 2 is, there is an awareness about yoga and stuff in the society, especially among the middle-aged group. So what would have happened first? Do you think they are independent things? No, they are not even independent. First, middle-aged people, they started some awareness kind of stuff. Okay, they are like being educated. Okay, we should do yoga, we should do exercise in the morning and evening, whatever. So first that group would have acknowledged the importance, and then that effect is going into the all sections of society, basically the all age groups. So you can say the statement 2 is the cause, and then statement 1 is the effect. So if you can find statement 2 is the cause and statement 1 is effect, right? So I mean, it is pretty much simple. I mean, if you read the statements, you should have got it. I am pretty much sure. Statement B. So option number B is the right answer, where it says that people being aware first. Which one were so the awareness being spreading into the middle-aged group, and then all sections of society, all age groups acknowledging, okay, fine, yoga is important, we should do it. So that's the effect of the first thing, that the middle-aged group is realizing the importance first, and then everybody, because they started doing it, and then yeah, a whole lot of stuff. I mean, so option number B is the right answer. Moving forward to question number 6. It says which word does not belong with the others. You can see the question right here, and the option 1 is, so we have to find the odd one out, and it says the noun, preposition, punctuation and adverb. So if you look at it, this is pretty much easy. Noun, preposition and adverb. These are basically the classes of words that actually form the sentence, right? You use noun to form a sentence, you can use preposition also, you can use the adverb also. But punctuation is, okay, you have some punctuation in the sentence, but punctuation is not exactly the class of words, okay? So punctuation is certainly different. I mean, for those who don't know what punctuation is, like comma, this, all these are punctuations. So punctuation is certainly not the class of words. So noun, adverb, prepositions, all these things are something that makes up the sentence. And then there are punctuations. So punctuations are, the odd one out, guys. So option number C, punctuation, would be the right answer for question number 6. So I just write the right answers over here. So for question number 5, right answer was option number B. Question number 6, right answer was option number C. Moving on to the question number 7. Question number 7 says, arrange the words given below in a meaningful sequence. You can see the words right here, and the words are, the very first one is poverty, then population, then death, unemployment and disease. These are the 5 words that you need to arrange in a meaningful sequence. So one thing that we are sure of, that death is the last thing that happens to anybody, right? I mean, after death you are like free from all the miseries of the world. So death has to be the last in the order. So what is the cause of death? I mean, why did someone die? So disease, you can say, yeah. I mean, he had some kind of disease. And what is the cause of disease? Like, was there no cure? Did he, did he not have, proper food? Or let's say you can say the people who are living in slums, they don't really have access to, good food, good health system. So there are more chances that they are gonna die of some disease. So yes, that's something that we still need to solve. But yeah, again, death is the last thing, and then before death you would have some kind of disease. And before disease, what is the cause of disease? You can say, okay, I am poor, so I don't have the cure, right? So poverty, or you can go from the front and you can say like, okay, so the very first thing that would have happened to any country would be the increment in population. So population increased beyond control, or so let's say in a country like India, you have lots of population, and if you have people living in your country, resources are limited, right? So some number of people are always gonna be unemployed, right? So if population leads to unemployment, and that leads to obviously the poverty, and if you are poor, then you have more chances of getting a disease, and if you don't have the cure for it, then you will die, right? So the logical sequence would be that population, with population comes unemployment, with that comes poverty, with that comes disease, and that leads to death. This would be the meaningful or logical sequence, and this is an option number C. Moving on to question number 8. Question number 8 says, this is again based on the direction thing. Okay. One morning after sunrise, Suresh was standing facing a pole. So this is Earth, and this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. Okay, now here is Suresh, and Suresh is basically facing a pole. Now you can get confused. Is it the north pole, south pole, or pole, a pole that you find in the street? So, but if you read the question further, it will clarify whether it's it's the pole that you generally find in the streets. So it's not north pole or south pole, but again, even if you imagine that will help you to solve the questions. So maybe he's standing facing a particular pole, maybe north pole or south pole, but that's not what pole means in here. The pole is basically the pole on the streets. Okay, so he's facing a pole. That's fine. Okay, and they are saying the shadow of the pole fell exactly to his right. So let's say if here is this pen, okay, and I am standing facing this particular pen, and if the sun is here, where would the shadow form? The shadow would form exactly to my right, correct? And if the sun is here, then the shadow would be exactly to my left. That's pretty much clear. Okay, if the sun is exactly in this direction, I mean if the sun is just in front of me, then shadow would form exactly on me. Okay, so it won't be my right or left. If the sun is exactly behind me, then the shadow would be exactly in front of you, right? So I mean if some light is coming onto the pen, of course, I mean because the pen is just in here, so shadow might not form, but yeah, so the sun has to be on this side or this side for shadow to form on your left and right. So this guy Suresh, and then they are asking to which direction was he facing. तो ये बताना भाई सुरेश जो है हमारे कौन सी डायरेक्शन को फेस करके खड़े हैं, क्या वो वेस्ट की तरफ है, क्या वो ईस्ट की तरफ है, क्या नॉर्थ की तरफ है, क्या साउथ की तरफ है। एक चीज जो काम की यहाँ पे दी हुई है उसके बिना क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं होता, एंड दैट इज सनराइज, कि भैया सूर्य उदय हुआ है, अभी अभी सुबह हुई है, सुबह हुई है। तो आई होप ये पता होगा सूरज कहाँ से उगता है, ठीक है। तो लेट्स से यहाँ से सन जस्ट आए हैं, ओके, इफ द सन इज हियर, राइट, sun rises in the east, everybody knows that, and the shadow has to be exactly to his right, shadow has to be exactly to his right. So if this guy is facing this pole, I mean this side, if he is facing north, then the pole would be here and shadow would form on this side. Okay, shadow would form on this side. So that would be, if he is facing this side, it would be his left, right? But the shadow is forming on the right side. So this guy is facing this side. If he face this side, okay, here is the pole that you have, okay, and if here is the sun, the shadow is going to be on this side, right? And if you are facing south, and this is the shadow, this is your right, correct? I mean, if that is the south direction, here is the east, let's just assume. So the shadow of this particular phone would fall onto my right, correct? So that's exactly the question is. So this guy is facing south direction, and south is option number C. Okay, let's go to the question number 9. Question number 9 is from the Venn diagram. So there are a certain number of people in a village, and then some of them read Hindu newspaper, some of them read some patrika or whatever. But finally we have to find how many people are there who read exactly, I mean just one kind of paper. They are not, you know, reading 2 or 3 kind of paper. So you can see the question right here. I'll just go to the solution. And question number 9. So it says there are 598 people, right? How many? 598. So the whole set is of 598. Then there are 3 newspapers: Hindu, Indian Express and Times of India. So let's make the Hindu here, Times of India, and then so this guy is Hindu, this is TOI, this is IE, Indian Express. Okay, there are 285 people reading Hindu. So this is the set of Hindu, right? This is the set for Hindu. Okay, maybe you guys are not familiar with the Venn diagram, and then please go to the Google and find out, but this is pretty much easy. So basically I draw the 3 circles corresponding to the 3 different kind of newspaper. One is for Hindu, one is for Times of India, one is for Indian Express. So why is the overlap between the different papers? Because you will find going forward in the question that there are people who are reading both the papers. So which means if I look at this particular section, these guys. So basically this is the intersection of your Hindu and Times of India. Means these are the people who are reading both the newspaper, right? If you talk about this is the intersection of Hindu and Indian Express. So these are the people who are reading Hindu as well as Indian Express. And then there is a portion which is your intersection of all the 3. This exactly in the middle. This guy is basically the people who are reading all the 3 papers. Okay, so that's how you go about these questions. And now moving forward, yes, you need some data. The data is there are 25 people reading Hindu. So that's, you know, I mean they are reading Hindu. It doesn't mean they are reading just the Hindu. It will include people who are reading Times of India as well as people who are reading Indian Express. Okay, so when they say the Hindu, it means the whole section. So people reading Hindu is 285, so I just mention it over here. That's 285. People reading Indian Express is this is 212, and people reading TOI, Times of India, is 127. Okay, that's somewhat surprising, but okay. And then yeah, but this one seems correct. Okay, just a joke. Even I don't like this one. Okay, 20 read Hindu and Times of India. So there are 20 people who are reading both the Hindu as well as the Times of India. So the red section is basically 20, right? And then there are 29 reading Hindu and Indian Express. So this section is 29. Again, when I am pointing to this particular section, it includes this section also. Okay, because this is the intersection of both the newspapers, right? And then there are 35 reading Times of India and Indian Express. Okay, this is the information that we have. And there are 50 people who do not read any newspaper. So basically those are like me. So there are 50 guys. Now we have to find out the people who are exactly reading one newspaper. Exactly one. It means you have to find this. Right? This blue section is the section where people are reading just one kind of newspaper. So let's see. So the very first step that there are again two ways to solve it. Okay, I'll just go with the approach that I take, but again there can be multiple ways. You can always assume this is X. Intersection of all the three is X. Then you have now all the information. If you know, just assign X. Now you know people reading Hindu and Times of India. Those are 20. So this section, people who are reading only Hindu, Hindu as well as Times of India and not the Indian Express. Those guys would be 20 minus X. Similarly, on this side would be 29 minus X. This would be 35 minus X. Now you can calculate again that the people reading only Hindu would be 285. Right? Because 285 is the whole section, people reading Hindu. You need to subtract people who are reading either Indian Express or Times of India, right? Both of them. So 285 minus, this is 20 minus X, so subtract 20 minus X, subtract 29 minus X, and then subtract X also. Those would be the people reading only Hindu. Or there is another way. So that's one way to go about it. But first you need to find the X. So total people is 598. Out of 598, 50 are not reading anything, right? So let's just exclude those 50 because they make no sense. Okay. So that's me essentially. Okay. So 598 minus 50, and these are the people who will fall in, like in these circles. So they have to fall somewhere in these circles. So now we will just add up everything that's there in these circles. So let's just add up this 285. So I am saying this sum should be equal to 285 plus 212 plus 127. Ab yahan pe you have to be careful, because when you add up this Hindu as well as Indian Express as well as Times of India, so what essentially we have done is, okay, so we will do it here. So this and this. So when we took 285, let's focus on this one, on our extreme left. When we took 285, this portion was already included, but when you took 127 or 212, you again included this section, right? When you took 212, you again included this section. So people who are reading all the newspapers, all three of them, basically we have added them 3 times, because every time you took the sample 285, 212, 127, they are being added up each time, every time, right? So 2 times you need to subtract. Oh, the other way to go about it is that when you took the intersection of the Hindu and Times of India, when you added up 285 and 127, so basically you took this portion extra, you added this portion twice. So I will subtract it once. Okay, so I will subtract all these people who are reading 2 newspapers. Right, this is the section which are people reading at least 2 newspapers. So it will be like minus 20, minus 29, minus 35. Now when you subtract 3 times, so there is one mistake. This guy, these people who were reading all the 3 newspapers, you added them thrice. When you added 285 to 127, okay, this portion was included 3 times. When you subtracted people reading exactly, the minimum of 2 papers, you subtracted the people reading all the papers 3 times. So you added 3 times, you subtracted 3 times. But to make up these people, you need to include that portion at least once, right? So plus X. So this has to be the right equation. जिनको ये समझ में नहीं आया वो बेसिक मैथ से जा सकते हैं कैसे. This portion is X, right? This common one. So this one is 20 minus X. Similarly, this one is 29 minus X. This one is 35 minus X. So this guy reading only Times of India would be total people reading Times of India 127 minus these guys. It means 127 minus 20 minus X, right? 20 minus X is in the bracket, and then minus X, and then these guys minus 35 minus X. So that would be people reading exactly TOI, and then similarly you can go about it, but essentially you will end up having this equation only. Now if you solve this equation, you will find you will find x would come out to be 8. X would come out to be 8. So if x is 8, now you can easily find out the people who are reading exactly one newspaper. How? Okay, you can solve this particular equation. I'm sure about that. Okay. So I'm not going to solve it. So x is 8. So x is 8. Hindu was 285. TOI was 127. And then Indian Express was 212. But we have to find out only reading Hindu. Okay, this is easy, guys. So only Hindu I will calculate for one and you can calculate for all. So only Hindi would be 285 minus, you need to subtract these guys, right? I think this is cluttered, so we will make this one here. I need to find these people only, right? So I will subtract from the 285 because 285 includes all of these. 285 minus, I need to subtract this as well as these 3 ones as well as these guys. So 285 minus, what are these people who are reading Hindu as well as Times of India? Those were 20 minus x, that was 8, minus x itself, that was 8, minus on this side we have 29 minus x, that was again 8. So this is the number for Hindu only. Similarly you can find for Indian Express, similarly you can find for Times of India, and you would end up getting 480. Or you can simply take 598 minus 50, that's the everybody within these circles, and you can simply subtract this 8, this 35 minus 8, this 20 minus 8, this 29 minus 8. That's it. That is another way of doing it. Okay, that's this. Okay, so essentially what I am saying is that 598 minus 50, इसमें से you need to subtract 8 plus 29 minus 8 plus 20 minus 8 plus 35 minus 8. That's it. Okay, this is another way of doing it. Or there is one more way to do this question, but that will only work in this particular paper because if you look at the people who are reading all the newspapers, they are 548, right? I mean 50 are not reading anything, total we have 598, so 548. Now if total number of people are 548 and you see the intersection is like 20, 29, 35 people reading at least 2 newspapers, they are like 20, 35, 29. So basically majority of the population is reading exactly one paper. So it should be, somewhere on the higher side. It cannot be 123, it cannot be 231, 312. So 480, yes, that is what you are looking for, right? So I think you got this one. So 480 option number D. Even if you solve this one, you'll end up getting 480. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 10, guys. Now the questions are really simple and easy. So let's see the question number 10. There are some general instructions before you go into this question. And general instructions are, so basically the question is right here in front of you, and it says what is the area of triangle, and there are 2 statements given corresponding to that. I mean, in order to find the area of triangle, the first one says you have the 2 sides of the triangle are given, and one of them is 5, another is 10. Statement 2 says the triangle is isosceles. So look, if you want to find out the area of the triangle, look, if I am just given the 2 sides, right? If I am given just the 2 sides, I can make any triangle. I mean you can make many triangles if only 2 sides are given. So question number 10. So one is 5, another is 10. So basically what you can do is you can always vary the angle, right? There are like 3 sides in triangle, but if I am saying there is one side that is 10, there is another side that is 5, right? So this theta is not given, right? So you can make 5 here, you can make 5 here, you can make 5 here. So there will be many triangles that you can form, and obviously area under these triangles will be different. So you need some other information to have that particular triangle. So until unless you have some information, some extra information is needed, because they have only the 2 sides, you cannot fix the triangle. Okay, but there is, okay, so one thing that we are sure is, if you want to find the area, the very first information, the statement 1 is not sufficient, right? And the statement 1 in which the sides are given 5 and 10, that's not sufficient. You cannot find the area of triangle with this information itself. So there has to be something else to it. Statement 2 is it's isosceles, which means it has like two sides which are equal. Now statement 2 says it's two sides are equal. Now which two sides? Can there be many options from here? Let's see. We know one property of triangle that sum of any two sides. Okay, if you have A, B, C, then A plus B has to be greater than C, A plus C has to be greater than B, B plus C has to be greater than A. This has to hold strictly for a triangle, right? So if you add up two sides, it has to be greater than the third one. Otherwise, it's not possible to form a triangle. So if that's the condition, so the third side, which is the two sides are equal, so the two equal sides cannot be 5, because 5 plus 5 if you add, that's 10. That exactly equal to the third side. It cannot be equal, it has to be greater, it cannot be equal. So it cannot be 5. So the two sides which are equal, they are of the unit 10. Okay, this the size has to be 10, whatever be the unit, but it has to be 10. Because if you add up 10 plus 5 15 greater than 10, yes. 10 plus 10 20 greater than 5, yes. Makes sense. So that is the triangle you are looking for. So there is only one way. If these two informations are given and the two sides are 5 and 10, then the third one has to be the 10. Now if you know three sides of the triangle, then by applying the Heron's formula, right? You can always apply the Heron's formula and you can calculate the area of the triangle, right? You find S is equal to A plus B plus C by 2 and then under root SS minus AS minus B. Okay, that's fine. So, or you can apply some other method, that's fine. But yes, now we can find the area of the triangle. But you need both these information in order to find the triangle's area, right? I mean, any one of them is like, even if you take the first one, you cannot find. If you take just the second one, you cannot find. You need both of them. So both 1 and 2 are necessary and sufficient, right? So both of these are required. And if you look in the option number E, option number E is if the data in the both statements 1 and 2 together, I mean they are necessary to answer the question. So E is fine because that's what we are looking for. You need both of them to answer the question. Okay, moving forward to question number 11. Question number 11 says in English alphabet every alternate letter from B onwards. Okay, so B ko you have to include. So from B onwards every alternate letter of English alphabet is written in small letters while others are written in capital letters. So starting from B you have to write in small letters. And then everyone else is like in the capital letters. So question number 11. So starting from B in small letters. So B would be small, C would be capital, D would be small, E would be capital, F would be small. This is what we have to do. Alternatively, keep on doing it, and then you have to tell the how will you write the third day from Tuesday. So you have Tuesday. The first day from Tuesday would be Wednesday. From Wednesday you would have Thursday, and from Thursday you would have Friday. Okay, so the day has to be Friday. If you look for the options, there is only one option which Friday is given. Okay, so you don't really have to check for the alphabets. You can simply take the option number D. And in the previous question number 10 also it's option number D, not option number E. Okay, sorry for that. It's option number D, in which the statement E is the right answer. In question number 11, it has to be the option number D because it's Friday. Now, simply you have, this is just a laborious question. You did do these things for all the alphabets till Z, and then you just pick the question. It's Friday, right? So F has to be the small, right? Now you find out what would be the R. Okay, D is small. A has to be the capital, like that. Okay, so this is easy. Moving forward to question number 12. Question number 12 says a tiebreaker is, so this is again more or less English question. You have the question on your left, and the question says a tiebreaker is an additional contest or period of play designed to establish a winner among the tied contestants. Okay, it's like RCB playing with CSK. The match is tied. With it's not gonna happen. I know CSK is gonna beat the RCB. But again, don't worry, RCB fans. But that's always how it has been. So we are saying if you have CSK and RCB. So and let's say RCB made 120 runs. Okay, and somehow they restricted CSK to 120 runs in a T20 match. So now the match is tied. Now there has to be something in order to find out the winner. So they have the super over in order, right? So you have like 6 balls. Every team will play the 6 balls. There are different set of rules, and then whoever makes the more runs is the winner. Again, if the match is tied, one more super over. Okay, that's the whole different story. But you have something to find out the winner if the match is tied. That's what they are talking about. And now they are saying which situation is the best example of a tiebreaker. So if you look at option number 1, it says at half time my score is tied at 28. See, it's just the half time. Okay, and your score is at 28. I mean, you have scored 28, the opposite team has scored 28, but it's just the half time. Maybe you will have the result by the end time. Okay, so it's not that you have played for the full time, it's just the half time. So that's not the condition of the tiebreaker. Okay, that match still has to go. So that's not the right situation. B says Mary and Megan have each scored 3 goals in the game. Okay, that's for the Mary and Megan, right? There would be other players also who would have scored some points. So you cannot be sure, okay, this is the situation for the tiebreaker. So again, this is wrong. So let's say I scored 20 runs, and my friend who was in the opposition, he scored 20 runs. But there would be other players also who would have scored something, right? So you can't be sure if this is the tiebreaker. Then option C says the referee tosses the coin to decide which team will have the possession of the first ball. Yes, the coin is tossed before the match, and then like who will have the possession of the ball, but it has nothing to do with the tie. Okay, and option number D, the Sharks and the Bear each finished within 14 points. So these are just named the two teams, and both of these teams finished the game with 14 points. So I have 14 points, you have 14 points. Now battling it out in a 5-minute overtime. Yes, you have exactly equal score. Now to find out who the winner is, you are basically trying to win the game in the extra time that you got. So yes, that's more or less a tiebreaker thing was. So yes, option number D is the right and the fittest answer for this option. So the right answer would be option number D. Let's move on to the question number 13. Question number 13 is very easy. So there will be now this question. I know. If you read out the statement, you will find absurd things like the mangoes are jalebis or jalebis are pens, but you have to assume everything is correct. Okay, whatever they are saying, you have to put your logic aside and just go by what the question says. So the question number 13 says there is a statement. The statement says, okay, we'll just solve this one. Question number 13, yes. It says samosas are jalebis and all jalebis are tikkis, all tikkis are barfis. This is pretty much easy. तो samosas जो है वो क्या है भैया जलेबी. मान लो ये समोसा है, तो ये जलेबी का सेट है. सारे समोसा जलेबी हैं. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि सारी जलेबी समोसे भी हैं, लेकिन इतना श्योर है कि समोसे जितने भी हैं वो तो जलेबी है. फिर कह रहे हैं कि ऑल जलेबी सर टिक्की, ये बहुत ही बेसिक है. मतलब ये सारी जलेबी क्या है भाई टिक्की हैं, तो उसका सेट इसके भी बाहर होगा. इट मींस कि समोसे सारे वैसे टिक्की हो गए. ठीक है, एंड ऑल टिक्कीज आर बर्फी. ये लो, और टिक्की सारी बर्फी हो गई, तो मतलब बर्फी का सबसे बड़ा सेट है. अब क्या बोल रहे हैं, कंक्लूजन देखिए यहाँ से. कंक्लूजन 1, ऑल जलेबीज आर बर्फीज. ऑल जलेबीज आर बर्फीज. यस, बर्फी बड़ा सेट है, तो स्टेटमेंट 1 क्या है बेटा, ट्रू है. स्टेटमेंट 2, ऑल टिक्कीज आर समोसा. सारे टिक्की समोसे हैं. नहीं, सारे समोसे टिक्की हैं, टिक्की समोसे नहीं है ना, क्योंकि बड़ा सेट टिक्की का है, तो 2 रॉन्ग है. 3 है, समोसे सारे बर्फी हैं. यस, सारे समोसे बर्फी हैं, बर्फी का बड़ा सेट है. और 4th क्या है, सारी बर्फी जलेबी है. भाई बड़ा सेट बर्फी का है, तो बर्फी सारी जलेबी कैसे हो सकती हैं. जैसे अगर मैं बात करूँ, ये जो बर्फी है वो जलेबी नहीं है, ये वाली जो है ये जलेबी नहीं है. जलेबी का क्योंकि सेट ही केवल छोटा सा है. तो only 1 and 3rd follow. If only 1 and 3rd follow, the right answer would be option number B. Moving forward to question number 14, and 14 says it is reported that the vitamin E present in the fruits and vegetables is beneficial for the human body, right? So you have fruits and vegetables which includes, I mean, they have vitamin E and that's beneficial for the body. And then they are saying, but the capsule of vitamin E that you have, that does not have the same effect, or that's not as effective as the vegetables and your fruits are. Okay, so they are not saying it has, some bad effects. They are just saying it is not as effective as the fruits or vegetables. Okay, so the capsule is still effective, but it's not that effective. So what should be the action? I mean, what should be the action? I mean, the courses of action that talking about. The statement 1 says the sale of capsule vitamin E should be banned. Why should we ban it? It's just that it's not as effective as the fruits. It's not gonna be. Okay, so it doesn't mean that we should ban the capsule E, right? So that's not the right action to follow. So option 1, do not follow. And option 2 says people should be encouraged to take fresh vegetables and fruits to meet their body's requirement of vitamin E. Yes, I mean, if fruits and vegetables are more, effective in meeting your requirement of the body, right? So obviously you should go for the fruits rather than going for the pills. So that is a wise option to choose. But banning vitamin E completely is it doesn't make sense, to be honest. So only statement 2 follows, statement 1 does not follow. So right answer would be only 2 follows, option number B. Moving forward to question number 15, and 15 is odd one out. It says, okay, so the very first option you have saw and wood. So is basically a tool for cutting the wood. So in order to cut the wood, you have a hand tool. Okay, so with the help of it, you cut the wood. Okay, fine. Option B. So we have to find the odd one out. Option B is pen and paper. Right, with the help of the pen, you write on the paper. With the help of the saw, you cut the wood. Fine, it's making sense so far. Option C. Author, book. Author writes the book, that's fine. But it's not something like printing machine, or I don't know. So this exactly does not follow what we have been seeing so far. Let's look at option number D for once. Option number D says chalk. So you have chalk and board. This also makes sense. With the help of chalk, you write on the board. With the help of pen, you write on the paper. With the help, it doesn't have to be the writing always. Okay, you have to find the right analogy. I mean, it's like, so if it's, so you cannot say, okay, it was like talking about pen, paper, author, book, chalkboard. Okay, they are more or less same thing, and now they are talking about board. It's absurd. No, it's not. Okay, that's one is making sense. The author one is not making sense, because see, you need a pen. I mean, not really that. I mean, a pen writes on paper, chalk writes on a board, a saw works on, with the help of it, you cut the wood. But author is fine. He writes the book, but it's not something with the help of which, you actually do work on, on the book. So option C is odd one out. Right option would be option number C. Now let's move on to the question number 15. Now starting with 15, these are the figure based questions, and you have done these questions when you gave your entrance examination for Navodaya in class 5th. So these are really basic. I don't think you need an explanation for the figure questions, and we are not going to have an explanation because these are pretty basic. I don't want to explain these. Okay, so we will not skip this. We will see the right answer, but I don't think there is a need to explain these. These are really basic. Okay, question number 15. It says, so in the first figure they have a triangle thing, and then they have circle thing, and this sign, right? And in second figure, what happened was, so a couple of things happened. I mean, this guy is rotated anti-clockwise by 45 degree, okay, and this guy is like, we have filled this one, okay, this was empty before, and now we have put some color into it. And if you simply bring this to 45 degree this sense only, then this guy will not come here. It means it has been tilted first, rotated by 180 degree out of the plane, and then moved by 45. Okay, so if you have the phone like this, then I am not bringing it like this. You actually rotate it out of the plane, okay, and then you are bringing it. Okay, so that is also the one change that you are doing. And even if you do that, this sign needs to be reversed, right? So even if you like rotate it by 180 in this plane out of the plane of the board, right, about an axis like this, if you rotate it by 180 and then bring it by 45 degree in this direction, this particular, you know, thing that bulging out would be in this outside direction only. So you need to rotate that as well. So this thing was supposed to come this way, but we have turned it this way. So there are a couple of changes, right? Now they have given you a figure where they are asking, okay, this was filled and we had this triangle and this particular L-shaped thing was towards the triangle. Now simply we were rotating in anti-clockwise direction, rotate it anti-clockwise direction, so it should come somewhere here, and then this is filled, it would be empty. This thing you have to rotate it 180 in this direction also, right? So this guy would go like this. Okay, so option number C. Okay, this is given in third figure, and option number C would be the right answer. Question number 16. This was easy, guys. I don't really want to put much effort into it. Okay, then we have to find the right image. Okay, so there is a mirror, and you have two triangles this way. Okay, here you have 2, you have 5, you have 3. That's it. Very easy. So when it comes to the mirror, basically you have the same thing, similar distance. Okay. That's the only one thing that you need to follow. So if this tip is at a distance x, it would be at a distance x, right? So that's one thing that you need to do. So the shape is not going to change. I mean, if you put it this way, it would be this way itself. Okay, just that the 2. Look, I'll just give you an example for 3. If the 3 is like this, now this guy has to be at this distance. Okay, it has to be at this distance. This guy has to be at this distance, this distance, this distance, and then it's only, so it will come like this, right? Because if some point is at a distance x, in the mirror image also it would be at a point distance x. I think it's pretty much easy. So 3 जो आपका, और देखो पास में क्या है, 5 है, राइट? 3 दूर है, तो 3 दूर ही आएगा, लेकिन 3 ऐसे हो जाएगा, ठीक है? तो इस टाइप का कुछ आपको बनाना है. ऐसा अगर आप देखोगे, ऑप्शन नंबर ए में आपको दिया हुआ है. जैसे 2 यहाँ पे बेटा ऐसा है, ठीक है? तो अभी ये कैसा है आपका, ऐसा है, तो ये कैसा हो जाएगा? देखिए ये पास में है, तो ये कुछ ऐसे आएगा, राइट? समथिंग लाइक दिस. सो आसान है, आप कर सकते हो. ऑप्शन नंबर 1. 17 देखिए बेटा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 अगेन फिगर का है, एंड इस वाले में ये बहुत ही आसान है. बस हमें राइट फिगर ढूंढनी है जो इसमें क्या है बेटा, फिट होगा. जैसे देखिए okay, so you have to find the right image, so it would be something like this. Okay, ये वाला, this is the answer, and this one is given in option number A. Okay, easy. Next is again based on the figure thing, and it's odd one out. Again, this is easy. Question number 18. So you have a random figure. Basically, you have this thing. Okay, 2, 4. You have 2. Then in the next figure, you have 1, 1, 0. You have 7, 3, 4. You have 5, 2, 3. So if you sum these two, okay. So whichever is the bottom of the figure, if you add up these numbers, you will end up getting this one. 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 4, 7. 1 plus 0, 1. But 2 plus 4 is 6, not 2. So this is odd one out. Very easy. Figure has nothing to do with it. This is just simply, some easy mathematics class level 3. Option, right option would be option number 1, because this is not adding up to 6. Okay. This is adding up to 6, but option is given as 2. I mean, here you have 2, so this is not the right answer. Okay, question number 19. 19 is again more or less English question, and they have a paragraph and you have to infer what is it that you want to convey from the particular paragraph. So the paragraph says, and you can see it right here as well, the criminal justice system needs to change. Okay, so let's say you committed a crime, and then maybe you are sent to jail directly, or you are asked to have a judge, and you are asked to have a lawyer for you, and then fight a case for you. So that's another thing whatever happens in our country. But they are saying the system needs to change. And what is the change they are asking for? They are saying the system could be more just. Okay, it would be more just if just means justice thing. It would be more just if it allowed victims the opportunity to confront the person who has harmed them. Okay, so victim is someone who has been harmed, and then culprit is someone who harmed me. Let's say someone stole my purse, right? So I am the victim, and the person who stole my, okay, why would I have purse? Let's say wallet. Okay. So if my wallet is stolen, then I am the victim, and then there will be culprit who actually committed the crime. So then the guy who actually stole the wallet, that guy is the criminal. So they are saying I should be allowed to have question answer stuff with the guy who just stole my wallet, because I just want to ask, why did you do it? I know, because he wanted money, that's fine. But there would be other things that person can do. He can just kill someone or hurt someone, hit someone with the rod, and there might be there are lots of crimes that you can do. So they are asking, they are saying that the person who is harmed should be allowed to have one-on-one with the person who has harmed them. Okay, that's what they are asking. Also, a mediation between the victims and their offenders who has offended the victims would give the offenders a chance to apologize for the harm they have done. Okay, so that's being really positive, but I don't think that's going to happen. They are saying, so if there is an offender who has offended you, okay, someone hit me with the rod, so I should be allowed to do question answer with that guy, so that if that person realizes, okay, I did the wrong thing, then he might want to ask you, he might apologize to you. So that's one thing that might happen if there is a mediation. Mediation means it would be like I'm sitting with a criminal, and there is another one guy, maybe the police or something, so that he doesn't hit me back again, and I'm just asking him few questions. So that's sort of mediation is. And then so they are asking, okay, what is it that this paragraph best supports the statement that victims of a crime should. So they are asking, what is it that this paragraph wants to say? Okay, so do they want the victim learn to forgive their, just a minute, forgive their offenders? No, it's they are not saying me just to forget what happened with you and just forget what he has done to you, let him be free. No, they are not asking that. That's no. B, have the right to confront their offenders. Yes, that's what they are asking. I should have the right to confront him and then ask him few questions and stuff. Yes, so option B is correct. Yes, they are asking that you should have a right to confront the offenders. Yes, and option C says insist that their offenders be punished. No, and then have the right to impose a sentence to the offenders. No, you cannot have a right to impose sentence to the offenders. You will just say, okay, just hung him. So that's not they are asking. They are just saying, okay, you can have a chat and then ask your questions maybe. So option B is correct. Okay, moving forward to question number 20. That's really easy. Question number 20 says, if 20 minus 4 is 10, if 30 minus 6 is 10, so what would be 40 minus 8? It's very easy. If you subtract, like, what the hell is happening with me? Okay, but the sign is just, it's not representing anything basically. So they are saying if 20 minus 4, it should give you 10. If 30 minus 6 should also give you 10. So it's like if you divide 20 by 4, it will give you 5. If you multiply it by 2, makes sense. 30 by 6, if you do 30 by 6, it will give you 5 multiplied by 2, makes sense. So same thing is going to happen over here. If you do 40 by 40 by 8, it will give you 5 into 2, it will give you 10. So the answer has to be 10. So if someone take the answer based on the two thing that we have over here, you will still get the full marks, but that's not the right way of doing it. Okay, you have to find some relation between these numbers to end to the to reach to the conclusion, and then you can have the similar analogy for the question. So 10 would be the right answer, option number C. Let's move on to question number 21. 21 says find the wrong number in the series. Very easy, guys. Okay, it's again a number system. So the series, this one is easy. 1, 2, 6, 15, 31, 56, 91. So if you look at the series, okay, I told you there can be many ways, okay, but if you look at the difference, this is 1, this is 4, this is 9, this is 16, this is 25. Can you see what is this? This is 1 ka square, 2 ka square, 3 ka square. You have 4 square, 5 square, and this would be 36. Should be 36. This should be 36, but it's coming out as 35. This is not 36. It should be 36, but it's 35. So which is the wrong number? 91 is wrong. Right? You need 92. So that's wrong. So 91 is wrong. Option number D. Moving forward to question number 22. 22 is again based on the. Okay, I think we did some blunder over here, guys. Okay, just a minute. So the. Oh yes, and this blunder has been all the way. So, but because this was question number 19. I'm very sorry for this. This was question number 20. This was question number 21. This was question number 22. Okay, and now we are going to question number 23. So that's been a blunder from my side. Very sorry, but again you had the question all the way, so obviously you can relate. This number means nothing. Okay, question number 23. It says there are 6 members in a family A, B, C, D, E, F. They are traveling together, fine, and then they have given some numbers to us. We have to find the relation. Very easy. I mean they have given us some relations. B is son of C, D is mother of B, whatever. Let's find out. So you have question number 22. They are saying there are 6 members A, B, C, D, E, F traveling together. So B is son of C. So B is son of C. Son of C. So B is here. C is in the next generation. So this is son. We don't know if it's mother or father. Okay. But B is son. But C is not the mother of B. They are saying C is not the mother. It means C is father. Okay. Then they are saying A and C are married couples. Okay. So basically who is the mother? A. Because A and C are married couples. Okay. Let's just assume B is their son. Cool. A is the brother of C. E is the brother of C. E is the brother of C. Okay. This guy got a brother. That is E. Okay, and then D is the daughter of A. Then A got a daughter. Okay, I mean for this question, that's obviously she is not going to have an affair. You have to assume that they are faithful to each other, and if this guy got a son, then this is like her son, and if she got a daughter, then obviously she got it from C. So this one has D. This is daughter. So these are like brother and sisters. Okay. Then they are asking F is the brother of B. F is the brother of B. Okay, they got a couple of kids here, and then this guy also got a brother F. So basically 3 of them in the same generation, brother sister. And then they are asking who is the mother of B. This is very easy. You have to assume she was faithful to him. So B's mother is A. Option number D. Moving on to question number 23. This was easy, guys. Okay, you should be able to solve these questions. Question number 24, again I am doing blunder. 24, there is a series, letter series PKC, SPF, XSK, AXN, blank space, and then you have IFV. You have to find out how this letter series is moving. So if you look at the first letter P, S, then it got P, Q, R, S. From S to S, T, U, V, W, X. From X to A, it's Y, Z, right? Okay, so it makes sense. 2, 4, 2, right? Is it following the other, second letter also? K to P, K, L, M, N, O, right? Okay, P. Q, R, okay. S to X, T, U, V, W. It makes sense, right? So for P, it's 2, 4, 2 for the first letter. For the second letter, it's 4, 2, 4. that way it's moving forward. And also in the third letter you can find out C. So it's D, E, then F. So 2, 4, 2, and it was the same way. So A was having a gap of 2. So it should have a gap of 4. A, B, C, D, E, F. X is having gap of 4. It should have a gap of 2. X, Y, Z, A. So something like this. F, A, something. Option number C. And obviously it will also be in the same pattern. You can check. Like F was having a break of or gap of 4 letters, right? So now it should have a gap of 2 numbers. So F, G, H, I, E. So it's following the trend. It's fine. Moving on to the last question, question number 25. And 25 says, some boys are sitting in 3 rows facing north. Okay, so there are 3 rows and some boys are sitting facing north. Okay, let's assume this is north. A is in the middle row. A is here in the middle row. P is just to the right of A, but in the same row. Okay, P is right of A in the same row. So you get it, right? If I am facing this side, let's assume this direction is the north. So my right would be this side, right? So that's why P is on this side. And then you have Q is just behind P. Q is just behind P. And R is in the north of A. So north of A is this, R is here. They are asking in which direction of R is Q. R is here, Q is here, this direction. This is north, so this has to be east, this has to be west, this has to be south. Okay, if you are confused with which direction is north, which is south, then just try to remember the India's map. And obviously if you have Jammu Kashmir here, then you got, your eastern, the sisters over here, and then we have Rajasthan over here. And okay, so northeast. Okay, so this is south, this is east, so this is southeast, right? So southeast, option number D. And here ends our discussion of logical reasoning part 1, the NDST paper 1 logical reasoning, and we'll meet you guys again in the discussion of mock test 2. Again it will be logical reasoning, and if you got any questions, then you are free to ask them in your WhatsApp groups. Okay, and if you are stuck with any particular kind of questions, then please go through the internet, try to solve them, okay, till you get confidence, and try to score maximum marks in mock test 2. Please do not cheat, because you cannot cheat in your end examination. Okay, that we can assure you for sure. So never ever cheat. Okay, you are not gonna go anywhere with cheating. So best of luck, keep working hard, and thank you for being an amazing audience.